right, what's up, guys? So we're back. Some big news, maybe. I don't know if it's big news or not, but Vice, that crazy, media company that's done all sorts of, very fine. They only do reporting and videos on, the finest group of people. For example, here they did The Man Who Eats Roadkill. That was a classic there. From Psycho Killer to Painter. This one was about a man who killed dozens of people and turned into a painter here. So they want to interview him right there. And then this is one of the favorite ones. This is where Vice went and they got the Yelp's worst rated colonic. I don't even know what that is. He got his pipes clean though. But yeah, so Vice, the quality reporting group, news, I don't know what you want to call it. They did a big piece on the fighting game community, right? It only makes sense. A guy that eats roadkill, fighting game community is about the same level there. But they just put out a big documentary. Ba-boom! There it is. Inside the world of fighting games. Ta-da! It's on Vice. Unfortunately, I can't watch it on YouTube in Japan. It's banned. Banned in Japan. I heard in Australia it's banned too. But if you look down there on the bottom, it came out 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And already 237,000 views, right? So this is big news. This is, I feel like if you're a fighting game member, you should kind of be aware of this and read the comments. I think maybe the next video I'll read the comments. That'd be a good idea. But this is it's like a 25-minute documentary that they put on the fighting game community, and this is not for us. This is not a video for people in the FGC. It's for people outside the FGC. So it's before I watched, I was like, how are they going to try and paint the community? What message are they going to try and get across to everybody? So let's just, I can't show clips. I don't want Vice to come after me. But it was pretty good. 25 minutes. They kind of had, I felt like it was a little bit not focused. But this was the host, Dexter Thomas. He did a very good, job hosting there. He is this guy plays fighting games. I don't think he's like a pro or anything, but he liked it as a kid. He says favorite game is Killer Instinct. They bring Valle in. He plays with them. But my favorite part of the video was they did get a lot of really good classic footage, like this guy. This blonde guy, this looks like every dude I saw at the arcade, right? This looked like every dude I saw at the arcade. This is like the badass kid in my school, man. The guy smoking cigarettes out behind the cafeteria. But they had a ton of footage. So if you're interested in old ass, arcade footage, because it wasn't just one arcade. They had arcades from all across, right? So that was a West Coast arcade here. We got Chinatown Fair. I used to go out here. A lot before it got shut down. The dancing and tic-tac-toe chickens are not up there. I guess I'd tell the YouTube if you didn't know. But that sign, you see it's all busted up. World Famos Dancing and Tic-Tac-Toe. Under, it says chickens. So the chat didn't know, but Chinatown Fair is a very old arcade, right? And back in the day, they had chickens in there. So dancing chickens or chickens that play tic-tac-toe. So nobody understood what that was. What they do is the chickens were in a little cage. The cage had electricity. So they shoot electricity and make the chickens like move around and play tic-tac-toe or just dance. So animal cruelty from the 1950s or whatever, but it's there. But anyway, more classic stuff here. Young Arturo Sanchez, you watch NLBC, you watch a lot of footage. This is young Arturo. Back, he was on West Coast. He was a top player there. Yeah, so at the start of the video, they show just a lot of, it's very general. They show a lot of old school arcade stuff, and they talk about it. And it seems like they're kind of trying to paint a good picture of the fighting game community. And then it's a boom, quick drop. And it all starts with this. Oh my God. They bring out the graph. Look at that. So 1.8 million is EVO all-time earnings from 1996 to 2019. What is the math? Somebody do the math on that, will you? 23. I think it's 23 years. So 23 years of EVO. Total prize pool in 23 years is $1.8 million. Compare that to International 2019. That's one tournament, had 34.3. Fortnite World Cup, one tournament had 15.3. PUBG, one tournament, had a 4.1 mil. So fighting game is poverty. They get to this point like, well, fighting games are poverty, It's a small community. It's made up of delinquents. And then after the money, they start bringing out the dirty laundry. So first of all, before they got to this part, when they were hyping up the fighting game community, they showed Mr. Wiz They showed Mr. Wiz constant. They had him talking. They had him walking around. It was at least like a dozen Mr. Wiz things. They didn't mention anything about him, though. No, they did. They brought up an article. I don't have the screenshot, but they bring up an article that says, like, the Evo founder has the rename. But it's like, you were just showing that guy. You just showed him like 12 times. But they didn't mention his name. They just showed him. They did it with another person. Of course, this was the first one they brought up was an ex-Smash Brother. They called this guy a top Smash Brother player. Lost a sponsor here. So this is very well known. If you're in the FGC, you know about this. This was by Chris G. He said this a while back. You know, they don't have the year. It was 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. I don't know. But he got last summer. He lost a sponsorship. He did all sorts of stuff there. But they edited out his name, right? They didn't say his name, but again, they showed him all over. He was in, again, a ton of footage there. So they had him in the documentary. Then he added his name here, but not for our buddy Luis Alvarez. Whoever Luis Alvarez, if you're watching, please don't leave a comment on this video. Luis Alvarez, again, they're bringing up more and more. This is what females have to deal with in the fighting game community here. So they had they got Purple Sharpie and Cuddlecore to be like ambassadors for the modern FGC. So again, they're bringing up like this is what people have to kind of deal with. Thank you, Lewis, for making people look bad. Of course, they also had to bring out LTG, right? They had the clip of LTG, whatever his classic quote was against when he was getting in the fight with Cero and everything. They did like a good solid 10 minutes of just all like incidents that have happened. They had like headlines and everything. So, obviously that stuff happened, and the point was that the FGC has a lot of problems, but there are modern players, like the old school arcade that they showed earlier is kind of fading out, right? And the modern era is starting to get in here. They're basically, the second half was promoting Exo Academy and Combo Queens, saying like these are the kind of the new school players, these are the new school groups that are going to step up and kind of change the FGC. And then at the end, they do a quick round table. So overall, like I said, if you've never seen it, it's only 23 minutes, 24 minutes. So I would say watch it just to get like the footage and everything. But if I have to like comment on it, I feel like it's weird. I feel like they should have cut it into two, I feel like for one, this is the fighting game community. It was a very weird kind of narrative. It was all over the place. And then at the end, it was just like, oh yeah, and by the way, these are all the problems. I feel like they could have just cut it in half. The first, they could have focused on maybe like the history overall. And then maybe the second video is the problems with the FGC, and then roasted and stuff like that. But there's only one. There's one positive. There's a lot of positive, I guess. But the big positive though is that I thought we were gonna lose. They talked about Smash Brothers. They talked about Smash Brothers a ton. They talked about them fighting herds like 3 times. Nobody said a word about anime. There's no anime mention at all until the MVP came up. Gita Jackson here with the buzzer beater in the last minute of the documentary. They ask, what's your favorite fighting game? And Gita comes out here, Guilty Gear X, baby. So we got there was a little bit of Guilty Gear X footage there. So there's 237,000 people watching now. This will probably get like 500,000, I guess, maybe even more by the time it's over. So all these people are going to get exposed to Guilty Gear X. So Gita, thank you. She's doing her part. Yeah, she's always welcome here. She can join me. We can save the series together. But yeah, that's it. Nothing, just I want to everyone else, if you should watch it, I guess, and then leave a comment. What do you think about it? I'm glad they did it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like Gerald. I feel like any video you take of Corey Gaming is better than that, and he does that by himself. I feel like any Corey Gaming video does a better job at really like explaining the FGC, getting the point across, keeping it interesting, the editing, the content. Vice, if you're watching and you got money, hire Gerald. He's a good guy. He'll work hard. Or Esteban. Get Esteban out there, right? There's a lot of talented people. But anyway, that's it. If you're still watching, thank you. Let me know what you think. Vice, if you're watching, hit me up for the interview, man. My rate is very low. I'll get in there, too. You got Valle. Come on, let me get in there, too. Let's get some East Coast representation. Like always, yeah, get no pet. Thank you. I'll see you next one. Peace.